Jersey style. I want to wish everybody a happy new year. It's January 5th, 2022. It's a Wednesday. It's 4:31 p.m. Just want to show you the time. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Just want to show you the time. I want to bring up a very good topic. That this was way overdue. It's the New Jersey Attorney General Law Enforcement Directive number 2021-11. It's regarding the First Amendment right to observe, object to, and record police activity. Again, this was long overdue because I've been doing this I was a citizen video journalist, a First Amendment advocate, and an advocate for disability rights since I think probably July/August of 2016. And I'm gonna be honest, I took a lot of hits since then because I took a lot of hits along the way since 2016. And for what? Nothing. And this was long overdue. There was like case law on a federal level going back to 2017. And that circuit included New Jersey and Delaware and Pennsylvania, says that if law enforcement interfere with a person's First Amendment right to film, they can get sued. So technically it's 4 years overdue. No, almost 4 years, because I think the 2017 ruling was going back to February, if I'm correct. So it's like 5 pages long. I got a copy of it. Long overdue, people. Long overdue. Now because the Attorney General did this. This applies statewide, everybody. Statewide, meaning it applies to all the different counties within the state of New Jersey. They finally, like I said, they finally recognize. They finally playing catch up with me and a lot of other people are doing. It's not against the law for being a citizen video journalist. We're not terrorists with a freaking camera. We're not. We are I'm just a regular Joe Schmo with disabilities, trying to do the best as I can. Documented disabilities to boot. But I'm gonna try to find the I should have found the link for this directive anyway, but like I said, freedom of speech is a fundamental American principle. Fidelity to this right embodied in the First Amendment to the United States Constitution and in New Jersey Constitution has distinguished our country throughout history. free speech protections have always intersected with many aspects of everyday life, including the role of law enforcement, and increasingly so with modern advances in communication technology. In particular, given widespread spread ownership of smartphones over the past decade, civilian recordings of police activity are now routine. The First Amendment protection of the individual's right to record police officers conducting their official duties in public is well recognized. Fields versus City of Philadelphia, and they did a bunch of numbers, like 3rd District, 2017. In order to continue building better relationships between communities and police, this directive is necessary to ensure that the First Amendment's bounds are as clear as possible to both civilians and law enforcement alike, with respect to the right to observe, object to, and record police activity. So that's like the first 2 paragraphs of the directive. I'm just reading it off the directive. So I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read some of this. Scope of the First Amendment right: the right to recorded officer's conduct. A member of the public who is present but not taking part in a situation or event, i.e., a bystander, has the right to witness, observe, photograph, audio, and video record, comment on, or complain about law enforcement officers conducting official duties in public or in private places where the person has a right to be present. And it goes through a lot of other stuff too. Okay, going to the next. This is section number 2 under 1. As long as the recording takes place in a setting in which the bystander has a legal right to be present and does not interfere with the officer's safety or lawful duties, the officer shall not tell the bystander that the recording of police officers, police activity, or persons who are subject of a police action is not allowed. Tell a bystander that recording police activity requires your permit or officer consent. 3. Threaten, intimidate, order to assist, or otherwise discourage a bystander from remaining in a proximity of, recording, or verbally comment on officer conduct directed at the officer's official activities. 4. Perform an investigatory stop or arrest of the bystander solely on the basis that the bystander is recording police conduct. 5. Demand the bystander's identification. 6. Demand that the bystander state a reason why the bystander is recorded. 7. Detain, arrest, or threaten to arrest a bystander based on activity protected by the First Amendment, including but not limited to the bystander's verbal criticism, questioning of police actions, lawful recording of officers or gestures. So that's what the cops can't do. But I do have an issue with something, and I had this issue since day one. I wish there was some sort of guideline how close you can get to of filming law enforcement activity, because I got like different answers on that even from law enforcement themselves. I actually talked to Wall Township Police Chief Kenny Brown on this, or his or the second command regarding that. So if I'm wrong about that, Kenny Brown, sorry, but I know I talked to like one of the administration people, and we came up with a guideline of at least like at least 25 feet, at least 25 feet to 30 feet, because it provides it provides like a safety barrier. And I don't mind going along with that. No, I think it was 25 feet. Because within their the training, they want people away at least 21 feet. Then then 21 feet. Then they bumped it to 30. Or during our conversations, I compromised on 25, because 25 feet, I think that's good enough. Again, that's not set in stone. It's 25 feet. It's not set in stone. Because like I said, each law enforcement activity is different from the next. You just you just can't but for me, my rule of thumb is 25 feet, because of the discussions that I had with the Wall Township Police Department that's in Monmouth County. Okay, going to guess what? I've got number 8. Like I said, I did not prepare for this video at all. This is one of those let's do this. Let's do a video. Let's do a random. Let's do a live stream about the directive. Okay, number 8. Intentionally block or obstruct recording devices. Officers are not required to position themselves in a manner that gives individuals better angles or views while recording, but may not deliberately obstruct actions taken in public from the view of people who are recording. So I guess they can't I guess they can't do flashlight. They can't point flashlights into cameras. Okay. Now we're going to the limitations on the right to record officers' conduct. Nothing, number 1, nothing in this directive prohibits officers from questioning or detaining for a reasonable period of time any individual they reasonable suspect has committed, is committing, or is about to commit a crime, or incite others to violate the law. 2, the fact that a bystander has a recording device does not entitle the bystander to cross a police line, to enter an area that's closed to the public, or to enter any area designated as a crime scene. And there's a sub thing underneath that number 2. Credentialed media personnel may be granted closer access to incident scenes or be allowed to cross police lines with relevant law enforcement agency approvals. This right does not extend to anyone who has not received such approval. Number 3. If a bystander is recording police activity from from a position that materially impedes or interferes with the safety of, again, this is, to me, with the safety thing, that's, in my opinion, that's subjective. Again, it goes down to how far are you from the police activity, or interferes with the safety of officers or their ability to perform their duties, or that threatens the safety of members of the public. An officer may direct the bystander to move to a position that will not interfere. However, the officer should not order the bystander to stop recording. Again, that's all subjective, especially when it comes to officer safety. That's the one part I don't like. I'm going to be honest. That's the one part I don't like. To me, officer safety is subjective. Because one police officer might say, well, 25 feet is fine, but then another police officer wants you 100 feet away. I'm just using that as an example. But if that 25 feet is not interfering with the safety, or with the safety of the officers, or in any way, shape, or form, or what they're doing, again, it all comes down to being subjective. I think there should be some sort of guidelines, like, when it comes to that, or more like. And then they put the obstruction charge in. NJSA 2C29-1 continues to prohibit conduct where a person purposely obstructs, impairs, or perverts the administration of law or other government function, or B, prevents or attempts to prevent a public servant from lawfully performing a physical function by means of flight, intimidation, force, violence, or physical interference, or obstacle, or by means of any independent unlawful act. Again, that's all subjective when it comes to the distance between the person recording and police activity. That's what I'm saying. Okay. C. Here's another section. The right to complain about or criticize an officer's conduct. Law enforcement officers shall not use or threaten to use force or their arrest authority, or take any other action described in sections 1A, 2 above, in response to mere criticism or gestures, as long as their expression neither gives a rise to an objectively reasonable fear of harm to the officers or others, violates the law, or incite others to violate the law. I'm going to be honest, I'm all about peaceful protests anyway. I'm all about redressing your grievances with the government and police department too, but it has to be it has to be done in a respectful and peaceful way. And I know, like, sometimes I know in Trenton, if you go back to my Trenton video, I might have, like, I might have did a couple of F-bombs in that video, but but you got to understand the context, because I got thrown, I got like thrown, I got pushed up since I got pushed against a police car just for videoing a police department from a sidewalk, public sidewalk. So, and that's why I was not really happy. So, I mean, there's, like I said, there's like 5 pages to this directive, and I can't wait. I can't wait. I just cannot wait. Oh yeah, I can't wait to go to all the different counties in the state of New Jersey and just and start filming different things like I have been doing. And I'm gonna be honest, there's other sections to this directive within within the 5 pages, but I'm not really going into the other sections because it says like limit, because it goes into searching and into seizing and searching recording devices and things like that. So, and there's like other provisions as well too. And I'm not gonna read this whole thing. So, but I'm happy. I'm like definitely happy that we finally got this directive. But it was 4 years, almost 4 years overdue. 4 years overdue. Going back to that Third Circuit. But like I said, I've been doing this since July/August of 2016. And I'm gonna be honest, I took a lot of hits since then. And some of the cases I won, some of the cases I lost. Again, now law enforcement, it's not now. Well, yeah, now they have guidelines from the Attorney General. But if they were going along with the laws and rights on the books already, they should be any issues to begin with anyways. And I just want to put the government and law enforcement on the spot right now. Not on the spot. I not on the spot. No, I'm just hoping that we have more citizens becoming citizen video journalists and start filming all you guys. And I'm gonna be honest, me personally, I don't fully trust law enforcement. I mean, in general, I don't trust the government in general too, because I have seen where the government, different, not all of them, but different government workers getting the law wrong on different things, especially when it comes to Oprah. I filed like 78 Oprah cases, and I won all of them because they don't know the law. And then sometimes I file the Oprah request in person, so I need video proof with what they state. With what they state to me, it's an investigation into how they do stuff in real time. and and we need this. If you think the government is all 100% right and they don't make mistakes, and I gotta say, you're wrong. They do make mistakes. And they cost people and they cost taxpayers money when they make mistakes. Trust me. I have like 7 to 8 lawsuits that I won. Oprah lawsuits. And some of the attorneys that the government agencies that they employ, they given bad advice to these government agencies. Trust me, been there, done it. So I'm gonna be honest. I hope we have more citizens coming out now with this directive being published, given out to all the law enforcement agencies within the state of New Jersey now. And plus that, the government, and plus that, I think last year they instituted body cams for every police department within the state of New Jersey too. So we need transparency within the state of New Jersey. And I'm gonna be honest, some people don't like that, some people do like it. But it's about gaining the trust of the community and things like that. It's about building bridges within any community. I don't care if it's New York, Camden, Elizabeth, Cape May, Freehold, New Jersey, like you name it. Or even any of the towns up in Sussex County. Lafayette, Sparta, Augusta, Jefferson, or even any of the towns down south too. Shark River. Shark River is not a town. But I'm gonna be honest, we need more people out there filming the government and the law enforcement. Last month, I actually I had to go down to Clarksville, Tennessee for something, and actually I actually went into their police department because I wanted to do an Oprah request down there. But like I said, their laws are different, or when it comes to their Oprah laws. So it was more about inquiring information about like how they do stuff down there compared to New Jersey. And I actually went to their town hall too in Clarksville too. And everybody's correct. Chuck River Hills is Neptune Township, correct. So it's like I said, each state is different, but what I'm talking about is for New Jersey. But Clarksville, Tennessee, if you have a chance, watch those videos. I'm surprised that the amount. I'm surprised about what they have like for security in their burial hall. Well, yes. It's a tough neighborhood. What do you expect? And actually, I did a couple of videos on Nalabone too. So, but no, it's like I said, we need more people filming government operations or and activities and stuff like that because government doesn't know everything. They don't. I learned that along the way too. And then people jump on me like saying, "Oh, you should let them do their jobs and stuff like that." And like they know the better they know their job better than you do. Well, maybe they do. But I know what the law is though when it comes to Oprah. There's a difference there. I'm a whiz when it comes to Oprah. Trust me, I'm a whiz when it comes to Oprah. I know what's allowed and what's not allowed. And and this is public record too. I sued Avon by the Sea, New Jersey, over a signature. A signature. Do you want me? They wanted me to sign the Oprah request. I said no, it's not required. They still deny me it. So guess what? Sue them. And again, another government agency learned the hard way. You can't require signatures. It's not within the Oprah law. And Avon by the Sea lost. And that's because of their attorney, Barry Cook. In my opinion, Barry Cook did Avon a great disservice and it costed that town taxpayers money. Again, that's all public record. You can look this up if you don't believe me. You just have to know that you just gotta educate yourself. By going back to the directive, yeah, the only reason I'm going into the Oprah stuff is because sometimes I film like within the government buildings when I do like in-person Oprah requests. That's why. When I do investigative videos into like real time how they do stuff. And I do it openly so they know that they're being recorded. So does anybody have any questions or anything like that? Any questions? I know I only have like 3 people, but that's okay. About the directive or about the new directive regarding recording police now, or even Oprah law itself too. I'm gonna look for a link and I'm gonna like put it under the underneath so people know like where the link is and everything else. But like I said, the AG directive was long overdue. At least 4 years in my opinion. No, I'm gonna be honest, 6 years or 5.5 years. Because I started back in 2016. And I took a lot of hits along the way. Yes, I did. I took a lot of hits. Took a lot of hits. A friend of mine sent me information about the directive, and I'm gonna be honest, started to cry. I'm like, this is what I've been. I started to cry, and I said to myself, I'm like, this is what I've been saying all along. And people thought was crazy and nutty and stuff like that. Well, guess what? Who's right? Who is right after all this? Who is right? Who turned out to be right after all this? Guess what? Me. And nobody can take that away from me. I was right since day one. I was right. Been saying this since day one. I've been saying it since day one. Took a lot of hits. And guess what? Who turns out to be right after all this? I was. And nobody can take that away from me. Nobody. Okay, everybody. I'm gonna cut this live stream like within the next like few minutes, because nobody's really asking me questions or comments or anything like that. So this is Jen Coombs. I hope you enjoyed the tonight's live stream about the AG's directive regarding filming police. It was long overdue. So it's Wednesday, January 5th, 2022. It's 5:09 p.m. Here you go. I wish everybody a happy new year. And be safe. And be jolly. And have fun. So this is Jen Coombs. See you on the flip side, everybody. Be safe.